Happy June to you. We are approaching the Gemini New Moon on June 14th or 15th, depending on your time zone, at 24 degrees of Gemini. This is where the sun and the moon are conjunct. They are aligning for a new beginning at 24 degrees of Gemini in your chart. And this is also a time period to allow your mind to go into a void. The new moon is when the sky is the darkest. This is a time period to clear the mental slates. Look at what you no longer need to think about or overthink about. Consider what is worth your time, energy, and attention, and ensure that your mind is also choosing what you want to focus on. We live in a very busy world, and there has only been an increase in the noise, stimuli, information, things grabbing for our attention. The Gemini New Moon is a time to be mindful and to look at where you want to make some powerful new starts that maybe you've been figuring out, delaying, or avoiding. This is the time now to really understand what you want to do every day that also relates to the new beginnings that started in April. Now, we talked about April being a big month of beginnings where we had a full lineup of planets in Aries. Now, about 2 months later, what are you realizing is essential in your daily life? Where are you ready to have some new practices, some new ways of approaching your world, some new things to play with, to test, to just try out and see where it goes? The Gemini energy is lighthearted, open. It's even restless and indecisive. There can be a sense of, let me just try this and see what happens. This is the energy of why not? Why not explore this? Why not see where this goes? The Gemini energy is also short term, meaning this is the sprinter. So give yourself a short term plan here that you just explore and try to see if it aligns and if it works for you. This is where you might have some new solutions, some new routines, or some new developments that just might take off and stick. And it's because of your willingness to be open and to experiment that you're able to see what is better for you now. So this is also a good time to understand that not everything is worth your attention. Not everything is good for your mind, your heart, your body, your soul. And so you might also have some realizations here during this dark new moon of what you're phasing out, of what you no longer want to connect with or think about. This can support redirecting your mental energy and also establishing new boundaries around what is important to you. And so you might find that this is a time period that it's easier to make changes. That's because the Gemini energy is adaptable air, mutable air. It likes to change it up. It likes to see things differently. There are new awarenesses that will also arrive with this new moon. And what's important about these new awarenesses is that they're coming from your healed self. This new moon at 24 degrees of Gemini is sextiling Chiron in Aries at 29 degrees at the very end of a healing journey that has been ongoing since 2018. And so this is a new moon that's giving you new insights and understandings into what you've been moving through and supporting you in creating a new personal narrative around the story you want to tell, the truth you want to express, what you want to write or state, what is coming up within you that is actually a beautiful demonstration of your own personal expertise and mastery because of what Chiron has been guiding you through. Now, I feel this Chiron influence is quite important, and that's because not only is Chiron here at the final degree of Aries, but Chiron remains in a sextile with the sun in Gemini into Cancer season. So after this new moon is exact, there will be about 6-7 days that the sun and Chiron are traveling together in a sextile. Chiron enters Taurus on June 19th, and then the sun enters Cancer on June 21st. And they will both then be at 0 degrees of these new signs. And so that means there's something here that the universe is guiding you through completion around, and to have a new understanding of what you've been learning. That's also a Gemini strength. It's what you read, digest, ponder, consider. It can be that flash of insight or a quick moving message that just lands. It just hits in all the right ways, and you realize that's what this has been about, or that's what I've been learning and understanding. So it is important to be mentally open to what you're receiving. And the more you're willing to do so, you might find that some of these messages are coming from that Chiron in Aries, showing you how far you've come, what you are discovering about yourself in a new way, and how it's also moving you forward into some new chapters that are starting here around the solstice. So I'll be doing a separate video for you discussing the solstice energy. That will actually be a chart video where I show you the chart and discuss it more. But this Gemini new moon is a time to be open to not only what you have learned and what you've understood about yourself, but to be willing to write a new version of the story that lovingly supports you and that is incorporating your healed self. And so you might find that you're pleasantly surprised by some realizations and some things that you have beautifully owned and that you're willing to put into your next chapter. Every new moon is a beginning point, and we've had a series of new moons towards the end of each astrological season. And so here we have, again, the new moon at 24 degrees of Gemini, meaning we're going to have about 6 days left of Gemini season, and then we move through that solstice portal. And the Cancer energy is already strong right now because of how the new moon in Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in Cancer, softening us into our hearts and what we're really feeling, and perhaps even having difficulty expressing it. So something about this new moon is asking you to turn into your heart, tune into your heart, and listen more than you speak. Really understand what are some deeper depths here that are swimming around inside of you. What have you been trying to find the right words for, or wanting to figure out and write out or express in some manner? This could be something where instead of saying something quickly and immediately, which can happen with Gemini, it is the talker here, and it's the energy that wants to speak and might not understand what it's saying until later. But this energetic combination with Mercury and Cancer says pause, listen more, hear what's going on within you, trust your intuition, and really pay attention to those softer whispers that are easier to move through, push past, and overlook. I feel like this could also bring up discomfort, where there might be some things you haven't wanted to hear or feel into. But that's exactly where the gifts of this new moon lie, where there is more here for you to hear and process internally. And it requires slowing down the mind, slowing down that even immediate need to move ahead or do something, and to sit with the thoughts. I'm seeing the visual of a lotus flower in the heart and like sitting in that space and allowing the messages to reveal themselves, that again can be soft, empathetic, kind. And they're also, it's interesting, they're also blossoming energies here that are a further integration of the mind and heart space. And this will come alive even more as we move into Cancer season. So it's a very different type of Gemini new moon with that sextile to healing Chiron and the sensitivity of Mercury in Cancer. So this could be a time when you're even feeling how much you've shifted and changed, maybe even in a short amount of time. And there could be a new level of self-awareness that your mind is beautifully embracing and integrating. Now, I have a separate video for you here on YouTube going through this new moon chart where I talk more extensively about the energies of this Gemini new moon. And I hope you enjoy that. I hope that assists you with also looking at what's going on in your own chart even more. But I'll be back with some more videos here on YouTube going through the chart of the solstice, as well as some other events we have going on into July. So you'll see more of those chart videos here on my channel. As always, thank you so much for your comments, for your likes and subscribes. Thank you for sharing this. And I hope that this is a beautiful blossoming Gemini new moon for you that opens up your heart space and aligns it with the brilliance of your mind. I'll see you back here soon.